Organizations have to be able to move at the speed of the attackers, which are deploying AI at scale. Machine speed, defenders have to move at machine speed as well. And so self-healing, leveraging AI, going beyond automation is going to be the only way that we're going to be able to combat this.
What does it take as a security team to feel confident in being able to pull this off? So Joe, you opened Adapt 26 and talked about self-healing environments, which sounds great. You mentioned, a year ago, this might have sounded kind of pie in the sky, but it's becoming realistic. What do you think it's going to take for us to get from where we are today to make self-healing environments realistic for our customers?
I think self-healing environments have always been more or less the utopia of where it is that our entire industry has wanted to go. Now, I would also say at the same time, it was kind of faux pas to talk about self-healing because it seemed so far. It seemed so distant. I mean, you talk to your average security team, even up to this moment, there's still a lot of manual curation that is a part of this process. There's still a lot of manual triage. Now, with the advent of AI and how quickly AI has moved, I think everyone has been forced to reevaluate their strategies from end to end. And that includes, oh shoot, I have to move a heck of a lot quicker than I have in the past. I can't expect to sit on an incident list and triage that for weeks, days, months. Organizations have to be able to move at the speed of the attackers, which are deploying AI at scale. Machine speed, as the phrase is now going from an industry perspective. The defenders have to move at machine speed as well. And so self-healing, leveraging AI, going beyond automation is going to be the only way that we're going to be able to combat this. It's the only way that we're going to be able to withstand what's going to be happening from the scale of attacks moving forward.
Can you talk a little bit about the foundational requirements for this self-healing? What does it take as a security team to feel confident in being able to pull this off and really perform self-healing, or really have a self-healing environment?
There's a bunch of foundational elements for self-healing that are absolutely a prerequisite. And as much as people want to sprint towards what I often refer to as shiny objects, it's always been the very calm, rational approach to defense in depth and getting the foundations right. And the foundations, they sound simple in theory, they sound simple in practice, but oftentimes they can be very difficult to execute. It's, how do I make sure that I understand my environment? How do I make sure that I know what every single asset is, where it is, who owns it, what's it for, when did I last see it? Do I have AV installed? Is encryption deployed? All the sort of fundamentals that you would expect to have in place. Many organizations don't even know where their assets are. I sit down with security teams all the time, in particular prospects, this is an issue, where they will tell me, I know with confidence where 40% of my environment is, maybe 50%, through oftentimes brute force of manual exports from adjacent tools that they're taking into a spreadsheet and then stitching together. If you don't have the fundamentals right, you're not gonna get to the notion of self-healing. You're not going to even be realistic in terms of having the aspiration of getting there, because you don't have the right foundations. And any AI strategy in general has to be rooted in a data foundation that organizations feel like they can trust and that they can rely on. And that has to start with asset data. That has to start with an understanding of the context for that asset data as well.
Looking at 2027, what is your mandate to CISOs and security leaders regarding their operational foundations?
CISOs need to be incredibly mindful of not being distracted, of not chasing the shiny objects. Frankly, when this question is asked, I deliver the same answer every year of get the fundamentals right. Have your controls in place. Know your environment. The things that people take for granted and just assume are in place. Meanwhile, they're managing their environment in spreadsheets with 40% fidelity. And CrowdStrike is deployed on a subset of those devices. It's always just getting the basics right. Like, we do have to make sure that we're mindful of the emerging threats. We do have to make sure that we are staying on top of those problem areas as well, but not at the cost of getting the basics right.